Alright guys, so we have a new event. So in terms of the new event, we are able to get Parsia's skin. So let's actually check out the skin real quick. Okay, they definitely cooked with the skin. Alright, she was already looking pretty good with her previous skin, but this one definitely is peak. Alright, so that's pretty nice. Alright. In terms of how you can actually get the skin, you actually do need to get 50 points or 500 points, excuse me. So essentially how this works, they have break it down into easy and difficult, and pretty much you are getting the points from playing Honor Duel. So it looks like the easy one is something you can reoccurringly do on a daily basis. So if you are able to win participate 3 times, you are able to get 60 points. So let's say you're not getting into the difficult stuff, which we'll kind of talk about in a little bit. You can easily rack up to 500 points by playing within the 20 days, so it shouldn't be a problem if you just want to play Honor Duel on a daily basis. That's all cool. But if you want to complete this on one sitting, there are definitely more than enough points to get up to 500 within just completing a few of these missions. I think the biggest one is definitely this one: achieve a perfect victory, 9 wins, 0 loses without actively refreshing the shop in round 1, or one round of Honor Duel. So essentially you don't do any refreshes, you win all 9 matches, and you get 200 points, easy peasy. The other one that is going to get you, I think it's 100 point, I believe is this one. This one is honestly not something you can do in one sitting. You have to do 3, so you do have to play it 3 times. But if you do combine with some other ones, you are able to easily, complete it. I would say. The other one are a little bit more, not really strategic, but you do have to kind of see what kind of team you want to play with. So there are 3 or 4 options. Deploy 100 of the heroes per the faction. You have Greyborn, Lightbearer, Molar, and then Wilder, so you are getting 120 out of that. So it's definitely going to be multiple attempts. So I have already played my 4 attempts today, and these are the amount of uses that I have per each of the factions, so it's not that bad. Molar is definitely the one that I felt it was a little bit more easier, or as far as my pathway to that point, so we have that. Other than that, I have not been able to clear some of the more difficult one. Like you have to ascend 5 Molar to Mystic quality, so that's like the gray, so that's a little bit too much. So that's per different faction as well. Yeah, that's a little bit too much. But besides that, let's actually take a look at the Honor Duel and see how my setup went. So for the 4 attempts that I played today, like let me see, I think it gives me today, yeah. So of the 4 attempts that I did today, I think the most successful one was actually just this one, or no, this one over here. So I got up to 5 victories. So I think most of the time I was using probably like the first 5 right here, and that was kind of it. So I think my strategy when playing Honor Duel was trying to form a cohesive team that counters the opposite faction. So let me give you guys an example when we do hop into like a battle first. Like I want to show you guys visually how that works. So let's say Dreamer, right? Hop into Dream round, and then when we take a look at this right here. So what I mean by I'm going for the opposite one, so I know that Light Barrier is gonna work really good with, let's say, Molar, right? So I can counter that really nice. So if I'm running Light Barrier, my next suggestion, if I like the other team I need to run, is gonna be a Wilder, because in terms of running these 2 corresponding one, I'm able to counter up the other typing. So there's a good chance that when you are going in, you will be fighting every faction possible. So that's why it's really good to be able to counter the other one with ease, so you can at least secure yourself victory. In terms of the one that I actually went, I didn't go for that strategy yet, but I felt that it was a lot more easier. I went with Molar and Wilder, and that was probably the best setup that I found. Let's just kind of talk about the team that I used for that victory. So it's this one right here. the team that I used to beat it. So in terms of the formation deployment, we have those, but in terms of the artifacts, I'm using the illusion sensor. I think every time you hop in, it's a little bit different. They give you different scenario, whatever. I think for this one specifically that I have used is the one that can reduce enemy damage that dealt to me, and then at the same time, me personally, I take I think 2% of max HP damage per tick, so I'm actually hurting myself, but at the same time I have healer, so it does not really matter. So I believe towards the later game I was using a Granny. She came through clutch because of the equipment that I gave her. We have the fire dance. This is something that I got, I want to say maybe when I got down to 7th victory. Like after that one I was able to buy this. This was good because I can activate the first ultimate without any energy. So Granny is able to cast like I think it's an effective status, so we were not being targeted at that point in time. So that was pretty clutch. Alright, so that's pretty good. So Satrana came through clutch as well. So this is the only character that I was able to get up to the mystic status, and I really had to force this character to the mystic status because I found this really awesome equipment. It's called the Grand Master Emblem. So stun all enemy heroes below mystic plus or mystic for 5 seconds when battle starts. This effect only triggers when a mystic hero carries this equipment. So obviously I do have to get her to mystic because she was the closest one to mystic, so I have to do it, which eventually just led me to the victory because like I think towards the very last match that I had to win, I literally stunned them, and I want to say I took out 20% of all the enemy HP bar already, so that was lit. All right, I'm not even gonna lie. And then you guys already know Smokey and then Haywon, they were running WoW. So I gave Haywon this one, the decoying rain. This one essentially grants all allies with the same fashion 11% of the carrier basic stats. She doesn't have the highest stats at the moment, or in terms of what I was using, because she was not even at legendary, so I think she was still epic. So we weren't definitely having the better stat possible, but I think it pretty much works. She is definitely providing for Granny, which I think she needs it because she's like our tank. So I mean, like, it doesn't really matter that I wasn't providing much to the Mola team. It still worked. And then last but not least, Smokey, I gave this one the Deer's Blessing. So this one pretty much grants all allies heroes 25 haste for 5 seconds when healing or shielding them. So I mean, like, Smokey's always healing, so I mean, like, we gotta get that. So I think that's pretty much the breakdown of my team. So it's not really anything too special, but I still want to cover that in terms of how you want to kind of form a team. That's kind of how I feel like you should do it. You should always go for the counter balance, so you can always, you know, counter what the other enemy has, so you always have room for coverage. Essentially how that kind of works. But essentially that's kind of it. So I will definitely be playing a little bit more since it's still 20 days. It's not, I'm not going for that, you know, trying to complete it within like a day or two, whatever. I still have 20 days to complete it, so I am definitely not at a rush. But if you guys are trying to rush this through, I mean, like, you guys definitely do have to get the right RNG, because sometimes you just get really bad luck with rolling the characters and whatever, like trying to get those characters. But other than that, I think that is going to be pretty much it in terms of just covering that new event. I knew the day was gonna come when they're gonna drop an event that ties specifically to the Honor Duel, because right now the Honor Duel doesn't really have too much of a gimmick. So it's not bad. I mean, it's pretty cool because I'm actually playing a little bit more now. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it, and I'll be catching you guys all on the next one.